Hi everyone, today's recipe we are making creamy lemon coconut chicken breast served over zoodles. Now this has a wonderful creamy sauce you're gonna love, made with coconut and lemon and a few other things. And I tell you, the sauce is just always pretty much what makes it, right? This is delicious. So I'm Rock and Robin and I'm gonna show you how to make it right after this. So we're going to start off our recipe by prepping up our zoodles, right? That's what we said we were going to serve our chicken over. Now you could also do white rice if you want to, but like I said, today we're going to do low carb and we're going to do the zucchini. So I got my zucchini here, a nice big one, and I also have my zoodle machine. Okay, these things work great, and I'll just show you real quick. So we just cut off the ends of the zucchini to get them straight so that they fit on the machines well. So there's a little knob here where we just place that in and we push the little tongs into the zucchini, we crank it, and out come the zoodles. It's that simple. So the next thing we need to do is prep up our chicken breast. We need to cut it thinner. I'm gonna butterfly it so that it cooks up quick. We wanna cook this meal up nice and quick, and that'll take care of that by cutting this in a thinner slice. So it's a nice big thick one here. I like to get my chicken pieces down to about 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch thick. So do the best you can. So we'll just slice this through. And if you need to, you can always get a meat pounder like I have here, and you just pound out one of the pieces. Like I'm going to pound out this really thick one here just a little bit, so it's a little more thinner than it is. And now we'll season up the chicken both sides with just a little bit of salt, just very simple, salt and pepper. Now I'm ready to start searing up the chicken. Now I have a stainless steel pan here over medium-high heat. We want to get this pan up nice and hot before we put our chicken in it. Now it's really important what kind of pan you're going to use. In my view, I'm using stainless steel because actually the chicken, when I sear it, is going to leave some brown bits on the bottom of the pan, and that means flavor. Now if you don't have a stainless steel, my second choice would be a cast iron, and then my third choice is non-stick, right? If you have a non-stick and that's all you have, that's what you use. So I'm going to place a couple of tablespoons of coconut oil into the pan, and we're going to let that get hot. All right, I think our oil is hot. You can see the kind of waviness in the oil. That'll kind of tell you that it's getting hot, and certainly if it starts to smoke, that's a clue. So you want to place your chicken right in there and don't touch it. Let it sit. Don't move it, don't turn it. It's been a couple of minutes now. You can see that this piece over here is getting whiter. You see how it's traveled up, and it's going to get done pretty quick. This one, on the other hand, has a ways to go because it was a thicker piece. So I'm going to turn this one over first. When the pieces get done, the thinner pieces are going to get done first, so I'm going to place them right here on my plate and keep them warm, and the others can cook a little longer. This one here looks like it's ready to be turned over. Now you can always check your temperature with an instant read thermometer like I have here. It is difficult when you have a thinner piece, but we're looking for 165 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to pull it off now. Like I said, we'll just place it right back here. And I'm just going to lay a piece of foil over it just to kind of keep the heat in. All right, all the chicken is done. Now we're going to turn the temperature down just a smidgen, and I'm going to add the onions. Now before I do that, notice all the brown stuff down here. You see that? Very important, good stuff. Lots of flavor there. You want that. It'll still taste good if you use a non-stick pan, you don't get it, but this takes it to the next level. Toss in some diced onion. You can use red or yellow. I just happen to have yellow, so that's what I'm using. And you want to scrape up those brown bits. Now, if you don't have enough oil in the pan, add a little bit more coconut oil to this, but it seems like there's enough here. I'm on medium temperature. I'm going to add just a little touch of salt to this, just a little layer of that. And we're going to let these saute for about, no more than 5 minutes. Now, while our onions are cooking, we have time for a chef joke. All right, here we go. Why did the chef have to stop cooking? He ran out of time. All right, it's time to add our chicken broth here. I'm using organic chicken broth. Got mine from Trader Joe's, by the way. Got my temperature on medium, and I'm going to really scrape the bottom because I want to get those bits off the bottom. Here I've got my cup of full-fat coconut milk. I'm going to pour that in. And I've got some garlic powder here. I'm going to sprinkle that in. So I'm going to put a little bit of ground turmeric in here. I've got an organic lemon, and I'm going to put the zest of a lemon in here as well. This will give it a nice lemony flavor. So now I'm going to juice the whole lemon into this. It's probably close to 2 tablespoons, I would say, depending on how big your lemon is. Give that a nice stir. Now you can see at this point that this sauce is rather thin, right? It's pretty watery, so we need to thicken it up. So what I like to use is some arrowroot, which is like cornstarch, but it's non-GMO. So here's my arrowroot, and to that I'm going to add just a splash of chicken broth to that, just to get it liquidy. So just pour that in, stir it up, make a little slurry, and then we'll add that to our sauce. Now before I add that to the sauce though, I'm going to add some parsley to this. Parsley and basil are going in today. If you like cilantro, that's another option. Here goes the basil. Always use fresh, guys, with this recipe because it's just so much better. I can't even tell you, it's just way better. I got that in there. I'm going to turn the heat up just a little bit to get this to simmer a little bit more, and then we'll add the slurry of arrowroot and chicken broth. So I'm going to add a little salt to the sauce here before I add the slurry. All right, it's time to add our slurry. It is time to add the chicken back to the pan. Just get it in that sauce, and we'll just let it sit here and simmer for a little bit while we cook up our zoodles. All right, let's cook our zoodles. I got a nice big pan here over medium-high heat, and I'm gonna add olive oil to these. Just something a little different, not too much. Maybe a tablespoon, maybe 2 teaspoons. I'll toss in the zoodles, and these will just cook up in just like 5 minutes. I'm gonna add just a sprinkle of salt to that. All right, these zoodles are done for me. Just like I said, it wasn't even 5 minutes. I think it was about 4 minutes. Anyway, those are good enough for me. I just want them softened a bit, and we're ready to serve it up. I'm gonna sprinkle just a little bit of lemon juice on the zucchini, whatever was left in those lemons that I used. Just a hint of that, it'll just complement the flavor of the chicken. Okay, it's time to serve it up. I'm gonna put a little bit of my zoodles on the plate. And let's grab some chicken. Let's see, let's grab this one here. Look at this. Okay, zoodles are like pasta, and you gotta twirl them. That sauce really makes it. It is just so flavorful. You're gonna love it. I can taste the coconut, the lemon comes through, not overpowering. I think the coconut balances with its sweetness, balances out the lemon, the basil, all the spices. It's creamy, it's delicious, guys. So you really gotta try this, you're gonna love it. If you're looking for another delicious chicken easy recipe to make, I've got one for you that you really should try out. I'll leave a link for you right here. This is my chicken one sheet pan recipe that has vegetables in it. Everything goes in one sheet in the oven and it's done, and it's just delicious and easy and quick and easy cleanup too. So check that out. All right, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up and of course leave me a comment. I want to hear from you if you have any questions or comments. And we'll see you next week for another delicious recipe.